Hello, everyone, once again. This is Rob, and welcome back to Media Awareness and another album review. Before I go any further, however, I'd like to ask you all to please consider subscribing to my channel and becoming part of my YouTube family. I'd love to have you. Also, if you could like, share, and comment below, it's greatly appreciated. If you are not comfortable commenting in my comment section, you are more than welcome to reach out to me privately via the Facebook link in the description as well. In addition to that, you'll find a link to my Patreon page, and then all support is welcome, and as well as a link to the Amazon Media Awareness wish list, where you can pick and choose items for me to unbox, review, etc. You're also welcome to leave suggestions in the comments of things you'd like to see me review or react to or whatever. I will do it all, and then some. But this is interesting. This is the new Yes album was released yesterday on May 19th, 2023. It is called Mirror to the Sky, and although I don't have a physical copy of this album yet, I did listen to it on Spotify several times. It is a 2 disc set, and it clocks in roughly 60 minutes of music. So it is a rather lengthy listen. Um, I I have to say my overall impression is it's a good solid album, and it's better than the previous album, The Quest, but it's still, how can I put this? It's lacking in sort of tension, if that makes sense. And I don't know whether or not it's because Steve Howe himself is spearheading the album and producing it and arranging, or whether or not it's simply where the band is at in their career. Because we're at the point now where there are no original members in the band. Steve Howe, of course, as stated previously by me and others as well, is the second guitarist of Yes, and Jeff Downs on keyboards is the fourth keyboardist, I believe, starting out with Tony Kaye in the 60s and moving on to Rick Wigman, Patrick Moraz, back to Rick Wigman, and then finally Jeff Downs, and then back to Tony Kaye. It was the band was always evolving and changing with the times, so it's kind of hard to keep track. But there is a lot of members that came and went back and did other things. That being said, and on the topic of keyboards, another thing that this album is sort of lacking for me is keyboards. You know, you have Jeff Downs, who is an amazing keyboardist, yet there is very little keyboard accompaniment on this particular release. And I'm guessing if they do this material live, that they're going to supplement the orchestral parts with keyboard samples, which I could certainly see being done. But it would have been just as advantageous, in my opinion, to have those orchestral parts done on Mellotron or sampled keyboard orchestra, anything like that. Preferably Mellotron because they always have a classy sound, in my opinion. But being a Yes album, it's lacking the keyboards, and although that's not the first time this has happened. Magnification, the last album to feature John Anderson on lead vocals, at least the last studio album, that was orchestral in nature as well. When they toured, however, they did shows with an orchestra, and they had a supplementary keyboardist as well. Um, but in this case they have Jeff Downs, and I feel like he was very underused on this album, and there wasn't enough interplay between him and Steve in terms of soloing, and even just fills here and there, little spices to make the song jump out a little more. There are some keyboards on the album, just not enough in my opinion. John Davidson's vocals are definitely growing on me. I was leery with Heaven and Earth several years back, and when The Quest came out a few years ago, not long ago actually, I liked him on that, and I like him even better on this album. Billy Sherwood has definitely come into his own as a amazing bassist. He has always been an amazing bassist, but now even more so. He used to play guitar primarily. Stepping into the shoes of Chris Squire was not easy, and he's not necessarily replacing Chris. He's giving it his own flair, and I really admire Billy for doing that because it's really easy for people to just try and emulate the previous members, and I don't feel that Billy's doing that. I feel like he's giving the bass his own style and his own sound, and I think that him and John Davidson are both working really well together in terms of crafting the lyrics to certain songs. That being said, my favorite song on this album is the title track, Mirror to the Sky. I did reactions of the first two singles off the album, Cut from the Stars and um, All Connected, I think was the second single. And I really liked All Connected a lot. It was a lot more progressive, which is what I associate with Yes, as opposed to um, the 80s era Yes, which I do like as well. But it's more classic progressive rock in nature. And I think that's where a lot of people are going to be at odds with this because you could argue that they should be pushing forward into more uncharted territory and doing things differently as opposing to trying to recapture the progressive rock glory days of the early to mid 70s with these albums. At the same time, it is part of who they are, and for the longest time, that was Yes, what they were the premier classic progressive rock band, right alongside King Crimson and bands like Nectar, ELP. They all pretty much went hand in hand. But this album, I digress. This album, really, it's a solo album. The supplementary drummer for Alan White, who took over on drums, Jay, I believe, is really working well with Billy as a rhythm section. They're both really on the same page, and you can hear the dynamics between them, and it is just an effortless listen. Yet I think the album is slightly too long. I would not normally be saying that, um, but I think that it could have been trimmed down to a single disc, and it would have been a far easier listen. It wasn't a difficult listen, but it would be more digestible to the masses. That being said, I'm not complaining because I love the material on this album. I really do. But in terms of mass appeal, I think it would have been a lot better off as a single disc or a single, CD, maybe the double vinyl album. I'm not sure how they're releasing this in vinyl. I'm guessing it'll be oh god, probably be like a 4 vinyl set because it'll be probably 4 LPs, because it is 2 CDs. And as I said, I do not have a physical copy yet. I'm looking forward to adding it to my Yes collection in my Yes section, which is ever expanding. And I feel like Steve Howe did do an amazing job on the production. Please don't get me wrong by my earlier comments. He really has an ear for sound and a nice, crisp, clear sound. My gripes are more so with the arrangements and too much of a predominance of guitar and not enough keyboards to supplement the guitar as on previous albums. Because you listen to Yes, there's always sort of this equality between the keyboards and the guitar. And there's sometimes a back and forth sort of soloing between the two. In this case, you have a lot more guitar and just supplementary keyboards along with supplementary orchestral parts. I hope that this review was helpful to you. You can stream this album on Spotify, which is what I did yesterday and early today to get a feel for the album and see kind of where how I felt about it as a whole and where I was at with obtaining it from my Yes collection. And it's one that I definitely want to have. Check out Mirror to the Sky. It is available to stream on Spotify. It is available on CD wherever you can find records these days, a record store for that matter, or online, whatever you choose. I would support local record stores if you can, assuming they have it in stock. If they don't, they could probably order it. It is available on Inside Out Music. You can always order from them directly as well as probably from the Yes official website. So, I hope that you guys will check out the new Yes album. As I said, it is a good album, and it is by far the best album Yes has done. Oh God, in a very long time. I have to say, probably since Magnification. This is my favorite album since Magnification, and I love Magnification. So I really hold this album, Mirror to the Sky, in high regard. So, with all of that stated, I hope that you guys will consider subscribing to my channel and becoming part of my YouTube family. I'd love to have you. Also, like, share, comment below, and if you're not comfortable commenting in the comment section, you're welcome to use the Facebook link in the description to contact me privately with any comments, feedback of any type, positive or negative. Just bring it on. I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, or night wherever you are. Take care. Bye.